the end of the day, the two most valuable resources for everything you want in your life, it's not complicated. Emotional states, energy, that's it. Think about it. If you don't feel good, how are you gonna enjoy this thing we call life? If you don't feel good, people don't wanna be around you. And not to mention also, if you don't feel good, how are you gonna stop yourself from saying things you know you shouldn't be saying? It's almost a cliche. Oh, I should have said this, I should have said that, but that's because you're not addressing the core. That's where all the concepts you're getting from the books, videos, maybe even your counselor, you got some great concepts, but no ability to execute. When you can control your emotions, that is the foundation for that. Again, making everything very simple here. So the reason why you've probably looked back at your life and said, wow, things are not going the way I want, that's because you've never addressed the core before. But when you feel fantastic, that gives you all the odds in your favor to actually execute in the way that's gonna behoove you and your relationship. But at the end of the day, when you feel great, you're just good. And that's what everyone wants. So let's keep things simple here. But any process you're gonna do to resurrect yourself, your relationships, and your life has to start with that foundation. It does not matter what you know. All your concepts go out the window as soon as you feel fear, sadness, anger. As soon as you feel that stuff, what good are your concepts? They're worth nothing. So it does not matter what you know, it matters what you can do. And if you can't control your emotions, you effectively know zero. Any process you're gonna do to work on your relationships and your life needs to address at the core. Number two, energy. Energy is the fuel for everything you're looking for. How are you gonna make your dreams come true? How are you gonna make your relationship to the next level if you don't have any gas in the gas tank? Does that make sense? But that's not a concept, that's a skill, that's a conditioning. And by the way, on that note, a lot of people talk about mindsets and beliefs. That's not really what they're looking for. If you think about it, how are you gonna have a mindset when you feel like shit? How's that gonna work out? Your ability to execute is a conditioning, it's the way you feel. The conditioning is actually what allows you to execute a mindset or execute a belief. Beliefs and mindsets alone, without the conditioning, without that energy, without that fuel, they're worthless. So at the end of the day, what everyone really wants is a conditioning. And again, that's a skill, that's a process, that's not a concept. And that's why the people that work with me, my clients that do the Refocus on Happiness program, they're good either way. Hey, some people get back together with exes, some don't, and most of them don't even want that person back. But when you feel great, it's a whole different level, not just for your relationships, but for your entire life. So let's kind of close up here. Two most valuable resources, energy and emotional states. When you feel great, you speak great. When you feel great, you just execute at a completely different level. That's what makes all your techniques actually executable. And if any of you are dealing with stuff where you're trying to get, a job back, a business back, relationship back, you first have to get you back. And again, to get you back, that's conditioning. When you get you back first, and you're now at this level, people want to line up with you. Think about it. A lot of you are dealing with breakups, and you're kind of in a rut, you're in a fog. No one wants to be around you. And the decision to be in a relationship is an emotional decision. It's not logical. You can't take a PowerPoint presentation and say, oh, you're going to want to be around me because of A, B, and C. It doesn't work like that. People either want to be around you or they don't, based on how they feel when they're around you. So if you have a relationship that's not going so well, you can have all the concepts in the world, but if you're not enjoyable to be around, good luck with that. That's not going to work out very well. You can have all the best qualities in the world, but if someone doesn't enjoy their experience with you, that's not going to work out too well. But to get yourself back there, you can't concept your way there. That's a conditioning. That's your ability to control the way you feel, okay? So again, I'll kind of close on this note here. Steve Martin has a great phrase. He says, be so good at what you do, people cannot ignore you. I'm going to show you I'm going to make it so obvious what is available to you when you actually finally address the core. And by the way, on that note, again, this is a biological process. It allows you to rewire, recondition your brain like you recondition a muscle. I got doctors to do my program. Why do you think that is? A lot of you might have heard the idea of neuroplasticity, brain cells that fire together or wire together, but this is a true practical experience allowing you to recondition, rewire your brain like you'd recondition muscle. Same thing. And again, it allows you to keep moving at higher levels. But anyway, so bottom line is, that is what addresses the core. That's what allows you to take your relationships and your life to levels you ultimately want to go. Anyway, enjoy. I'm going to make this so obvious for you in the end part of this video here, where you see a bunch of people that are just like you, same situations. At the end of the day, no offense to you guys, but your situation is not as unique as you think it is. You have a brain that is capable of incredible things if you give it the right process, the right condition, the right stimulus. You have no idea what you're capable of. And again, at the end of the day, everything you've done is because you want to feel a certain way. But to feel a certain way consistently, that's a conditioning process, and that's why you're going to want to address the core. So enjoy the video. Talk to you guys soon. Take care. Go to refocusonhappiness.com. What you want to do is you want to click the button at the top, contact Lance. Very, very easy form. When you go there, you'll put your name, your last name, your email address, and your phone number. And I will get in touch with you in just a few days, okay?
Just be a little patient. I got a lot of people I work with, but I'll get in touch with you in 72 hours maximum. But after you do that contact Lance link, feel free to scroll around here. Again, Steve Martin has a great phrase. He says, "Be so good at what you do, people cannot ignore you." If you scroll down, you'll see testimonials from psychologists, doctors, zillions and zillions and zillions of past clients, including medical directors, et cetera, et cetera. So, like I said, I'm making this so obvious for you, what I represent for you, what I believe. The only reason you would not do this is if you're a glutton for punishment. So yeah, feel free to take a good look around. Again, I'm gonna make it very clear what I represent for you if this is something you're serious about, okay? Awesome. Look forward to speaking to you soon.
It's about trust in yourself. And here's the way to bring it down to the most basic level. Once you know what you want, just repeat this phrase to yourself every day. You ready for it? I don't care what you say, I care what you do. That's awesome. That's very exciting. As soon as you say, I'm going to believe you, as soon as you show me something different, I'm going to believe you the very first time. That's it. You make it simple. Not so complicated.
I was sick and tired of hurting, and I needed to change. I had to physically, mentally, and emotionally change quickly, or it wasn't going to be pretty. And so you and I talked, and we started that night, and it's been nothing but an uphill, amazing journey to the top of the mountain to look around and say, I feel pretty damn good.
What made you decide to do a program like this?
Relationships was, even though I really didn't have one, but that was really my purpose, because I want one. I feel like I have a lot of love and stuff to give, and not that I need it. I thought I needed it, but I don't need it anymore, because I know it's all within me. Mm-hmm. And that was a big part of it, was just not really believing in yourself, in myself, not feeling good enough, whether it's a relationship or whatever, but probably primarily relationship, because I'd been in a relationship for 28 years. It wasn't always great, and that ended abruptly. And so getting back out there is really tough. So, and I just didn't feel confident in myself. I've never felt that confident in myself, actually. So it was really all about the feeling I felt about myself. And the catalyst really to get me to this program was someone I met online who was so positive, really always positive, always built me up. He didn't know who I was. I mean, not really. And I just thought, who's this guy and why is he so positive? And, that's kind of what I wanted. And I thought, if he sees this in me and he doesn't even know who I am really, why can't I see it in myself? And so that just got me thinking, and I've somehow found you. I don't even know how I found you on Facebook, but I somehow found you.
Sneaky Facebook ads.
Yeah, and I just thought, he sounds legit. I mean, you sounded genuine. And so, and I wanted someone genuine. I didn't just want a program. I had started reading a few little things just because I thought, what am I missing here? So I started reading stuff about relationships and about men, and some of it was helpful. That it at least spiked my interest. And maybe that's how I found you. I don't know, but I thought, well, this guy seems really legit and seems to care. So here I am.
Good. See,
just grateful for what, like you said, grateful for, and satisfied for what is. And if you're getting more, that's awesome, but you have what you need. I have everything I need, and it's all in me. I don't need a man. I sure like one. I like somebody to share life with, but I'm okay by myself. I'm really pretty darn good. So, it's for me, it's definitely about gratitude and that generating that feeling. And that's my focus.
Yeah, never forget all these incredible moments of gratitude you're having that you're getting deeper and deeper at. Ultimately, that feeling only came from you. No one pressed a button on you, Melanie.
Right.
The feeling came from you that you're wiring and continue to condition in. I mean, like, and like you're saying here, as great as you were already actually pretty good at that part when you started me.
Mm-hmm.
I give you your own credit where credit is due. You work on other things, but you start off with that great feeling. But that's also partly why you moved as fast as you did, because you were able to really get those emotional juice and say, you know what, I'm just feeling really great what I'm doing, and you were able to bring your part of the co-creation into the process. That's what accelerated it for you. But you were good at that. But what you're starting to experience is, as good as you were, there's other levels of that. There's deeper levels. And it's really incredible. You'll get to a point, and you might even already be there. I mean, I know it took me some time before I got to the point where I can any day get so grateful, even over a lousy minutia cup of coffee, that I can feel like almost like tears of joy to come down. Like, I get to live like this. This is incredible. Yeah. But it's over a cup of coffee. I didn't get a new car. It wasn't like I got a massive injection. It's just some simple stuff. But you literally condition yourself to do that. And it's just like you can almost invoke it on command, but that's simply because you're doing your process each day. So you just get better and better and better at doing it. And there's no final level. It's just like, wow. I mean, there's no, the rabbit hole goes very deep. Mm-hmm. So that's it. Yeah. So just keep enjoying. So let me ask you here, how do you now feel about your future? How do you feel about like the next 10 years?
I feel like my best years are definitely ahead of me. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm living my best life right now, and I feel like that's just going to accelerate as I go on. I'm very happy. I'm gonna, I just focus on doing what makes me happy, doing what I want. I focus a little bit on this slide. Your time here is limited. I'm on the downside of the spectrum, but I just feel like my best life is totally ahead of me, and it's great right now. So, but I just know it's going to get better. So
it is.
Yeah. And I can't even really imagine how much better, honestly, but I just know it is. I believe it is. I know I'm progressing. I will continue to progress forever. So as long as I do this, and I don't plan to stop. So
and never stop. Yeah, as long as you keep doing it, you'll keep going. And if you ever do have challenges, remember, you can always go back to the baseline from the kickoff. That's you go back to that. You go back to like a military operation. If you do that, you can get past anything. Notice you have people, and this is good for anyone listening here, from a biological perspective, it does not matter the source of that challenge. It could be relationship, loss of a loved one, friend challenges, work challenges. From a biological perspective, it's all the same. It is no different. I mean, you saw there are people in the program here that have lost their father, like loved ones. There's many of those people, and they're surprised how much better they are relatively pretty quickly within a couple days, because it's all the same. Never ever go into that deer in headlights like, oh my God, I got this challenge. I'm just gonna, sleep in the whole day. Do not do that. Always execute. You will always continue to be the only variable. As long as you do that, sky's the limit. Melanie, you'll blow your own fucking mind where you might be in 6 months. You'll amaze yourself, and that's the truth. Like I said, you'll have deeper levels of understanding, and deeper levels of understanding will lead to richer levels of being, and that's the truth. It will be the gift that keeps giving. And as long as you continue to just not try to be perfect, subscribe to a student for life mentality where like, hey, I'm not perfect. I'm totally open to the fact that I either win or I learn. That's not a bad place to be, So as long as you keep with that, it's a straight shot to the top, a top that never, you never really hit the top, but you keep going. So that's a good place to be. Yeah. So let me ask you one last question. I think this is great. Last question here. If you were able to, because this will people relate to, think back to when we first spoke, 8 weeks ago, whatever it was at this point, and when you and I first spoke, you're like, you didn't really know quite yet, okay, you thought I sounded a certain way, but I'm sure there's a part of you that's like, kind of like, I don't know, what's this guy really looking for here, but if I'm just being honest here, but what if you had the opportunity, the you now was able to talk to the you, 8 weeks ago, even before we had the conversation where you said, oh, I'm going to be working for the next week, and maybe I'll be able to get to these videos in the next week or so. But if you got to speak to yourself first, before we even spoke, and you were able to say the level of what this represents for you, what do you think you would tell yourself? And I'm only asking this here because this is essentially, I'm almost in some ways asking you, what would you tell anyone else who has this in front of them and has the opportunity to move forward? What would you tell yourself knowing what you know now, your old self?
You know, I don't, it's just kind of incredible. $5,000 sounds like a lot of money. It is a lot of money to me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
every day I kind of tell myself, $5,000 is nothing. It's a drop in the bucket for the rest of your life to feel awesome and to have the tools you need to just be good all the time. And if you, like you said, if you have a little challenge, you know what to do. You can't really put a price on it. And $5,000 is cheap for the rest of your life. I mean, if you really, really work the program and do it and never stop. I'm just like, I'm worth it. And that's the other part of it is like, you know, I'm like, you're worth it.
Yeah.
Maybe didn't think I was, but I know I am. And it's really pretty priceless. It's peace of mind. It's, you know, it's just feeling, you know, a heart full of gratitude. And I mean, it's just a great way to live. I don't need anybody but myself. And I know I'm worthy. I'm worthy of all the good things that happen to me. So, it's pretty awesome. And I would tell somebody, you know, if you can do it, do it. I mean, I know it's a lot of money, but do it. I think it's certainly, you're worth it.